Hey everybody, welcome to my channel once again. Today I want to share something with you that happened to me a few days ago and I am so grateful and I just want to share that experience with you. Early on in January I traveled to Trinidad, that's my home country, to spend some time with my mom. That was basically about the 7th of January 2017, and I live in Tortola in case you guys don't know. So to get from Tortola to Trinidad, we normally use Liat airline, right? And with them, we have to stop at certain little Caribbean islands to get to our destination, most of us. For me, we will stop at basically like three to, or maybe four to five different islands before we get to Trinidad. So on this trip, I stopped at, actually, let me just, to come back from Trinidad to Tortola, we stopped at St. Lucia, Antigua, St. Martin, and the final stop was Trinidad. This was a nice trip. Like if I leave early in the morning, I get here maybe about midday. I like that sort of trip. Anyway, so I'm trying to like make sure I don't forget these little steps to what really happened. So at my mom's home, I found a old laptop bag that I bought many years ago. And I said, let me use that bag because it was really in good condition. And the one that I traveled with when I left here is one of Michael Kors bag that my son bought for me a few Christmas ago, right? And I found that the bag doesn't have a zipper to the top. So I felt a bit insecure because I felt somebody could just easily slip something into my bag while traveling. So I was so happy when I found the laptop bag. So I packed my passport and my purse and everything, my laptop in this bag. So when I got on the aircraft, what I did was I said, you know what, I think I'm going to sleep on this trip back home, right? So I put the bag in the overhead compartment. Normally I put my bag underneath the seat, right? So I put it in the overhead compartment, and yeah, so we were traveling and stuff. And when we got to St. Lucia now, well, of course, in these different stops, we don't really get off the aircraft. It's only when we stop in maybe Antigua and in Barbados, we'll get off the aircraft, spend some time and get back on another aircraft or maybe the same aircraft, right? So in St. Lucia, we stopped. We waited for passengers to get off and some new passengers to come on the aircraft. So I was chatting with a guy next to me, we chatting, all talking and stuff. And next thing I know, the attendant, she approached me and she said, is this your bag? I said, well, it looks like my bag, but I don't know. Let me just check in the overhead compartment to see if my bag is still there. So when I opened the compartment now, my bag wasn't there. So obviously the bag that she was showing me was my bag. I said, but what's really happening here, right? And I opened the bag and all the contents, this is my bag. I said, what the hell, right? So what happened was, and I saw the guy, I was sitting on there chatting with the guy next to me, like I said before. And in the corner of my eye, I saw another passenger. He came back with something in his hand, looked like a bag, and he gave it to the flight attendant. But that wasn't my business, so I didn't really focus on that, right? So like I said, I looked in the bag and everything was there. That was my bag, and I said, "Oh my goodness!" Right? And then another passenger said, "He said, Miss, check your bag, make sure everything is okay." So I did that right away. I realized where he was coming from because within that space of time, anybody could have put anything in your bag, and whatever's in your bag is yours. You're responsible for it, right? So I opened the bag, I checked and make sure everything was there. Not anything that, make sure that not anything that was not mine was not in there, So I made sure that was clear on it. But this time, I put the bag in the seat below the seat in front of me, right? I said, oh my goodness, could you imagine, right? No, like I said before, we would have to stop at Antigua and go through. We'll be in transit passengers, right? We'll have to go through, I think it's customs or immigration again, right? And could you imagine I being getting to in Antigua and not having my passport? I wouldn't have had, if I didn't get back that bag, I wouldn't have any, my passport, I wouldn't have had any money. Could you imagine, right? I was so grateful that whoever it was brought back my bag, right? Apparently when the person they picked up the bag, right, from the overhead compartment, and they left the aircraft, they went through customs or whatever and realized that the bag wasn't theirs. I'm glad they took the action and gave it back to whoever right away, and that person gave it to the flight attendant before that aircraft took off. I am so grateful, right? It was a really a scary moment, and I'm grateful for the person who got the bag, returned it, And I got back my bag intact, and I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson the good way. I really had to share this one to say that I'm so grateful that I got back my bag and I got to my destination safely. I got home safely. I got my luggage, everything is intact. I'm grateful. Just had to share this with you guys. Okay, thanks for watching. Okay, bye.